mistake-free here today. pickup.
What is going on, everybody? It is Frank the Tank, and welcome to bowling video number 66. And man, it feels good to be back again. And you know, I hope this doesn't become like a pattern, because you see, this isn't the first time that this has happened. We all know, we all went through it. The lanes closed the first time. Had to wait a long time before I could bowl again, before all of us could really bowl again. They opened after some time, and then they closed back up due to a spike in the cases, in the COVID cases, and then closed again, and here we are for a third time. And I am praying to God that things get better now that we have the vaccine and all that stuff. A part of me has doubt, though. Like, I feel like there will be another wave of cases, but you know, I guess I may as well try to enjoy it as much as I can, because who knows how long this will last. But anyway, we're back with the bowling reviews. We're starting off with Hyroad Pearl Part 2, even though it wasn't among the bowling videos that you guys requested, because as if any of you have been keeping up with my channel, I've been putting some community posts out there throughout like the past couple of weeks, where you guys get to choose the bowling ball reviews that you want to see and in the order that you want to see them. Unfortunately, the lanes opened up a lot quicker and a lot sooner than I expected, and as a result, I was walking into this thing massively unprepared, and so I had no choice, and I really wanted to get this thing like started immediately, so I felt the only way I could do that was to start things based on what I had ready. So yeah, I have to disregard that order of the list of which you guys basically created. So yeah, I hope you guys don't mind that. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna start things off with the Hyroad Pearl, and also I'm sure you'll notice that things are a little differently. Instead, we're starting off with the ball review first, and then here we are, and what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna look over the footage, and I'm basically gonna talk to you guys through what I went through out there and everything that happened. So yeah, basically, if you guys like this like it this way, let me know. I mean, I think this is a much better way, considering I know a lot of you, you didn't really say it. Some of you did, but didn't really make it clear. But I know a lot of you out there didn't really like it, where there was the intro, and then I would talk about the ball for like several minutes, and then I would show you the ball review, and then after that, I would give like my overall thoughts, you know, like a conclusion kind of thing. Well, this time I'm changing it around. It's the intro, and then I get straight to the ball review, and then this that you are seeing right now. So if you guys like it this way, let me know. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's get to this review, and basically look through what happened out there. Okay, so starting things off, there it is. Hyroad Pearl with the black Belmonte Overseas spare ball. So as you can see here, it's I think this cover stock, I suck at remembering things, but if I'm not mistaken, this cover stock is the same cover stock that they put on the Trend, which is why the Trend reacts the way it does, kind of lengthy, but you get a good hook off the back. This thing, however, is something else, obviously, because of the weight block that they put in there. As you can see, RG is 2.5 with a differential of 0.046. At least that's what is on the 15-pounder, which is what I was using here. I don't use 16s, I don't use 14s, and I sure as hell do not use 13s, 12s, 11s, 10s anymore. But anyway, here we go. Game 1 of 3. Getting things started with match number 1. Well, not match number 1, game number 1, because who the hell am I playing against, right? So, starting things off pretty good with the strike. I had a pretty good idea where I needed to play with this ball, considering, you know, this is house shot, and I've obviously used this ball before, so I had a pretty good idea what I needed to do based off of what speed, power, and revs I had. And as you can see there, I got lucky there with that Brooklyn, especially because I fell off balance. No one ever gets that lucky, right? But luckily it worked. But sadly that didn't last long. Yeah, look at that right there. Now I have to say that that kind of happened because this video right here, as you notice, I am wearing my custom green Monster SST6s. Thank you, Ivan. Appreciate it. Shout out to you, by the way. Yeah, I was wearing them for the very first time in this video. I had not broken them in yet, and for some reason, I don't know what it is with bowling shoes, but when you break them in, it takes a while for that slide pad to get some slide in it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was sticking a lot at the foul line. Also, they felt weird, and because, you know, obviously you guys know how new shoes are. You gotta wear them for a while for that, whatever it is that's inside of them to move around to get, so that they feel, you know, you get used to the feel of them. And yeah, that slide pad and that thing on the heel that stops you from the slide, I forget what that's called, but yeah, I hadn't broken them in yet, so I knew I was gonna have to, you know, take a couple of frames for it to be, you know, broken in. Luckily, it didn't really take that long. So yeah, if you're wondering, see right there how I kind of fell off there. If you'll have to excuse me, my form was a little bit not so great in this one, but like I said, to be fair, it has been a couple of months since I last bowled, and also I was breaking in these awesome new custom shoes. So I will say I did find a place beforehand to go and practice. I didn't like the lane conditions, but you know, I knew I had to at least, you know, get some, you know, get my groove back before I was going to do this. So it didn't really help all that much, but you know, when I looked back at the footage, it was my form was surprisingly not as bad as I thought it was. But as you can see, if you go back to my part 1 review and look at this one in comparison, big difference in the speed, the power, the revs, everything, the form. Now I feel like I can properly tell you about the ball reaction, and as you can see, because back in the part 1 review, my speed, revs, power, all that were not good, and I feel like I couldn't tell you officially what, you know, the reaction for the ball is. But now that we have something decent here, I can tell you, look at that. The ball is very lengthy, and its hook is not the strongest thing. But then again, that was the Hyroad Pearl's purpose, and yeah, a lot of people have had success with it. Belmo has had success with it. Gotta mention his name because he picked up his historic 11th major with this ball. He beat Buttriff in the final with it. So yeah, this ball, wow, you know, it carries pretty well too, I will say. One guy recommended that I remember he left me a comment in I can't remember what video, and he's the one who told me it has the ball, it's good, it has good carry, very good reaction, and that I should try it out. And I figured, you know, what the heck, the Hyroad series is pretty good, even though I'm not really the Hyroad series just doesn't work for me, for my game personally. But you know, if I had to say, this ball is probably the one that I like the most out of all the Hyroads. Haven't tried the Hyroad Max yet, but I will be soon. But yeah, I like the Hyroad Pearl mainly because, you know, I guess I've come to realize, thanks to the nuclear cell, that I like bowling balls that have length to them. And they have to have a good amount of hook. But this Hyroad Pearl, personally, I didn't really have the best success with it because you see how, look at where I'm playing. Let's actually get back at this. I was actually standing in between the second and third dot, as you can see my pointer there, because remember guys, the arrows align with the dots of where we're standing on. I was standing in between the second and third dot. That's where I was basically playing, and as you can see where I'm sliding, see that? Not a lot of space. So I don't like having to play with bowling balls like that, where I have to very little space to create some like angle. It's tough for me because the window is small. But you know, luckily this ball had some length to it. You know, the house shot obviously was helping me out, and yeah, I will say, even though there were times where I got the ball to the right a little too early, the ball, you know, it didn't overhook and it made it there. But you know, sometimes I wasn't, you know, getting any kind of help, I guess. And then also the other problem, I don't know if I ever did it in this video, but look at that. brilliant length. The length is just right on that ball. But yeah, the hook not so strong, but that's okay because sometimes that's what we need. Yeah, unfortunately, right there in the 9th frame, I did leave a pretty bad split, and surprisingly, I did pick it up. I couldn't believe that. You know, I guess my spare split stuff was pretty good, surprisingly, but this one was not easy because there's something about these overseas Belmo spare balls that they curve a little bit more when they get down there compared to the originals. I mean, I don't know why. It makes picking up spares a little bit more difficult as a result. That's why I like the originals a lot better. They go more straighter. They don't really curve on the back end. But anyway, this ball, man, I gotta tell you, the length and the hook is pretty good. But for me, it just doesn't work for me because I don't like having to play that far right unless I'm going down and in with, like, you know, with the pitch black or the Hustle Ink. So I could say, like, this ball would definitely be a good step up from the Hustle Ink. So if this thing was not working for you and you needed to go a step down, I'd say the Hustle Ink maybe would be the way to go. So yeah, I would say this thing is like a Hustle Ink, but with way more back end put on it. So that's the best comparison I could possibly make because you couldn't go down and in with this thing. And like I said, where I was stepping, I was standing in between the 2nd and 3rd dot, whereas with the Hustle Ink, I could go down and in with it. The same thing with the pitch black. I would be standing probably in between the 1st and 2nd dot. So there's your difference maker. There's your step up and step down, if I had to say. And then as you can see here, as demonstrated in match number 3, you could definitely hook the entire lane with it, but you have to be, I guess, decent at it. I mean, I know Anthony Simonson proved that you could also hook the entire lane with this thing on a sports pattern. I can't remember what pattern it was, but I do know it was the PVA Tour Finals 2019. He was using this Hyroad Pearl to hook the entire lane, and he was making it happen. But in order to be able to do this sort of thing, you really have to get your hand up underneath that ball. You have to get your hand more around it, really hook it, and you have to ease up on that speed in order to allow it that time to hook, because obviously the ball has length to it and its hook is not all that great. So pretty good pickup there. I don't know what that was. That was like the 1-3-6-10 and with that one pin hiding behind it. Pretty good pickup. I didn't think that would happen, but it did. But anyway, yeah, look at that. Fell off, but the hook is so good on this thing. It's like a regular Hyroad, in my opinion. You know, when you slow down on your speed and hook the entire lane with it, it looks like a regular Hyroad to me. But yeah, definitely possible. I wasn't really doing a good job at getting my hand around the ball, but luckily, you know, I was getting help there, and I was a little worried, but somehow things were working, and my spare game was pretty good. And, you know, more throughout after the 1st and 2nd matches, when I really felt like I was back in the groove, I was starting to get really comfortable. And oh yeah, check this out right here. Spare game was definitely on point. Look at that. This is an example of what I told you about these Belmo spare balls curving a little more on the back end. Let's actually see if we could get a quick little... I guarantee you, if I was using the OG Belmo spare ball, this wouldn't have been converted. But, like, you can see right there, that last few feet. See what I mean? It ends up right there, like to the left of that head pin. So I got lucky there with that, I will admit. That one right there, I put way too much on it. Let's actually get back at that. You could clearly see it too in my form. Like, watch me. See that? My leg flicks up like that because I'm really trying to, like, unleash on it there. I can't believe I threw like I'm pretty sure that was a good shot, and somehow, because I put way too much on it, I somehow made it overhook and cross over. That was pretty insane. I was like, whoa, how did I do that? Because if you look at this shot, almost the same thing. and it didn't overhook. I think it was because I put way too much on it. I know the speed was the same. But yeah, right here, unfortunately, I didn't realize that the camera had shut off, but it was from this point onward, every time I did a review, I looked at that camera. But I can't remember what happened. Did I leave a spare or something? Because I know I struck. And yeah, I left, I think it was a 9-pin. I spared it, luckily, which is, in case any of you were wondering, ended up with the 213, thank God. But yeah, look at that. Pretty good on the results, I would say. Not bad for my first time back in this place, and also for my first review back after a couple of months. Major difference, obviously. In my part 1, I got a 211 compared to game 1, I got a 232. And this is actually kind of funny how in game 2 I end up with 190s, but this one 194, 197. But unfortunately, in game 3 in my part 1 is where my game. I'm not gonna say I got unlucky because I was really crappy back in that day. So yeah, unfortunately my game struggled and I couldn't make spares. I think I got splits and I ended up with a really lame 148, all to make with the 553 and an average of 184.3 out of 3 games. Whereas game 3, I decided, unlike in my part 1, as you guys know, it's part of my routine. I try to really see the hook potential on the ball, and I try to hook the entire lane with the ball, and that's what I did with game 3. And I gotta say, I thank God that my game, like when I'm trying to play far left, is pretty good. Made it with the 213, pretty decent, with the total of 642 and an average of 214. Big, huge difference. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied with this. I don't think I'll be keeping this ball because I realize now that at that angle that I have to play in order to be able to strike, I don't like it. It's not for me. I like to be able to play far left, and I don't like to have to, you know, that what you saw right there, it's not for me. I don't like it. So definitely, I think I'm going to be offloading this one to one of you guys so that one of you guys can take it. But overall, I will say it is a good ball despite the fact that it's just not for me. I like the length on it. I like the hook, but for me to play that angle, it just is not easy. And one of the big points, for those of you who don't know, those of you who are experienced enough know this already, it's not about trying to look cool, trying to like hook the entire lane, you know, like it's not about that. It's about trying to find the right ball and trying to make it easy to strike, no matter what it is. As long as you can do that, that's your ball. But this ball, for me to play that angle was difficult. How I managed to make off with the 642 is beyond me, but I'm glad I was able to manage it. But anyway, that was a Hyroad Pearl. That is my, you know, I guess little run through of this whole thing. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know if you guys enjoy it this way. I can continue to do it this way, even though it'll be a little bit more work than the usual that I put into making these reviews. But if you like it, I can totally do it. So anyway, that is the Hyroad Pearl, first review back after a couple months. Hope you guys enjoyed. I am Frank the Tank. I will be coming at you with more stuff next time. See you later.